People often talk about the career ladder. They call it a ladder that you're going up, right? And they're right and they're wrong. Because yes, you are climbing up. And it's one step at a time. Sometimes you can skip a few steps, but it's always, step by step. That's how you climb up. But the thing is, see, it's not a ladder. It's a pyramid. Yeah, because you see, at the base, a pyramid is at its widest. And as you go up on the pyramid, it gets narrower and narrower, right? I climbed the pyramid at Chichen Itza in Yucatan, in Mexico. And, it was quite the experience. It was actually kind of hard, right? But I think you can't climb it anymore. But the point I'm trying to make is that, see, you climb up, and at the base, it's so big. But you get to the top, to the pinnacle, and it's so small. That was the thing that struck me when I got to the top of the pyramid at Chichen Itza. There's a little structure, an enclosed structure, which it was supposed to be like the priest's temple at the very top. And it was so small. I mean, it was no larger than a bathroom, quite frankly. It was rather surprising, but that's the nature of a pyramid. It seems so big, but as you climb it, it's smaller and smaller. And of course, as you climb it and it gets smaller and smaller, there's less room for other people. Yeah, because that's what happens, of course. As you climb in your career, in your business, in whatever it is that you're climbing, there are fewer and fewer people with you, fewer peers. They get left behind. Either they can no longer climb, or they're pushed off the pyramid altogether. Yeah. Now, it's built into men to climb the pyramid. It's in our very nature, okay? We always strive for more. We always want more. We always want more of whatever. We want more money. And if there's no more money to be had, we want more position, more responsibility, more respect. We always want more, and it is the nature of a man to want more and to try to fight it or try to somehow socialize it out of you is just absurd, It's been tried in the past and it never works, okay? We always want more, and some of us are more capable than others, and some of us climb higher than others. And sometimes we watch as other men climb higher than we do. And that can be very difficult, right? But here's something that I've learned that is so important, but that few people believe. And few people believe it, but it's weird. When I was young, I read about this phenomena, right? I read it in the novels of Marcel Proust. He wrote In Search of Times Past, In Search of Lost Time. And he wrote these series of novels about his climb in Parisian society. And I read him when I was in my teens or early 20s, I forget, to tell you the truth. I read him and I didn't quite understand him at the time that I read him. But now as a man of 51, I certainly understand it. And it's the following. See, as you climb the pyramid, once you get to the very top, when there's no more left to climb, when you're at the pinnacle, you're going to discover something soul-crushing. And that is, there is nothing there. It is soul-crushing, by the way. It is soul-crushing to have spent so much time and effort trying to climb the pyramid, trying to get to the very top of your career, your business, whatever. Trying to get the respect and esteem of your colleagues, to be the top dog, to be the king shit of Turd Mountain, right? You spend so much time, and most men, quite frankly, spend their entire lives trying to get to that pinnacle, and they never achieve it, or they come close sometimes, and then they just fade away, right? But if you are cursed to actually get to the top, and I choose that word deliberately, cursed. If you're cursed to get to the top, you're going to find something tragic, which is that there is nothing there. You climb to the very top, and you look around and it's just empty air. There's nothing. Or not quite. There's nothing except that which you already brought. You climb Mount Everest, right? You climb Mount Everest, you climb the pyramids, you climb K2, you climb any mountaintop or any large structure. You get to the very top, right? And what are you going to find? Nothing. It's just air. The only things that you'll find are the things that you already brought with you. And this is a key insight. In point of fact, it's the whole point of Marcel Proust's novels, right? Because, see, what happened with Marcel Proust is that he was a social climber. He was kind of like an awful person, quite frankly. But he tried to get to the top of Parisian society because he thought that once he got to the top of Parisian society, it would be like this, beautiful and brilliant, like, room or something like that, where he'd be surrounded by beautiful people and they'd be so witty and so smart and so insightful and all the rest of it. And he climbed and climbed and climbed the social hierarchies in Paris. And once he got to the very top, he realized that there was nothing. And that's the truth of the matter. See, often as not, we are climbing a pyramid, and at the top there is nothing. But the thing that we fail to realize is that, see, once we get to the top, we are left with the things that we were already carrying, the things that were already valuable to us. The people that you know, the experiences you've had, the things that you've seen, the knowledge you've acquired, all of these things, these are the things that you carry to the top of the pyramid, right? You carry them to the top of the pyramid, and when you get there, when you get to the very top of your profession, the very top of your career, you're not going to find anything. But if you look into your pockets and pull out what you've got and look at them, that's the valuable thing. A lot of guys, right, they get to the top of a pyramid and they realize that it's empty, and so they desperately start looking for another pyramid to climb. And then they sort of like go from the top of the one pyramid to the bottom of the next pyramid and climb that. And they spend their entire lives climbing one pyramid after another. The fact of the matter is, in my own life, I was a bit like that. In my own life, yeah, I climbed from one pyramid to the next because I couldn't conceive that there was nothing at the top. I thought that I would get to the top and that everything would be wonderful. It would be this incredible champagne room. And there would be like fun people, smart people who would be my friends, instant friends, and that I'd have all these things that I wanted. But most of all, I thought that I would get peace. I would get peace and satisfaction and fulfillment. I thought that if I got to the top, if I achieved my dreams, that everything would be wonderful in my life. And the fact of the matter is, that's not the case. You climb the pyramid of your career, you climb the pyramid of your business, you get to the tippy top, right? Well, what you have to make sure is the reason you are climbing it, see? The things that you're carrying, the things that are important to you, that's what matters when you climb, see? The climb in your career or your business is not an end in itself. You climb in order to achieve money. You climb in order to achieve a certain esteem, and this esteem and respect translates into certain opportunities that you want to take advantage of for whatever reason, right? But see, you always have to be clear that you're not climbing the pyramid as an end in itself, but rather you are climbing it in order to achieve freedom to do the things you want to do or safeguard the things that are important to you. The pyramid, in and of itself, the climb, the corporate climb, the climb in your career, the climb in your business, whatsoever that climb may be. See, that experience is valuable, but what is at the top is nothing. There is nothing there. There is nothing that will fill that hole that you lack, the thing that makes you ache at night, the lonesomeness or the thing that you wish that you had but don't have. Yeah? You're not going to find it at the top of the pyramid. Okay? You get to be at the top, sitting pretty there at the very pinnacle, but there will be nothing but air all around you. And a great vista, and you're going to look down and see all these morons trying to get to where you are, right? But there is nothing there. A lot of times, guys who get to the very top, they become extremely demoralized. I mean, that's what happened with Marcel Proust, as a matter of fact. He got to the top, and he just became incredibly depressed and demoralized, and he retreated to a cork-lined room and wound up, spending the next decade or so, or however long it took him, to write In Search of Lost Time. Yeah, all 7 or 8 novels. I forget how many there were at this point. But yeah, that's what he did, and at least he got something out of it. He climbed to the top of the pyramid, realized there was nothing, retreated to that cork-lined room and wrote his novels, and he had something to show for it, right? But a lot of other guys get to the top and they become incredibly depressed, incredibly unhappy. I mean, they just want to either kill themselves or fill their lives with distractions. Yeah, I told you a while back about this guy, this billionaire, right? Who just collected hot women and toys and had nothing going on in his life. I mean, the guy was a bona fide billionaire and he was miserable in his life, yeah, because he'd gotten to the top and there was nothing, see? And so he tried to fill that nothingness with distractions. These women and getting more money, as if more money would somehow ease his suffering, his pain. Yeah, it's not going to ease his pain. More money, climbing higher on the pyramid, is not going to solve anything. What you have to do, and this is the key issue, and the reason I'm doing this video is, let's see, what you have to do is find the things that are valuable to you, whatsoever those things may be. Yeah, your family, your friends, yeah, your children, what have you. And you have to make them the reason that you climb. You don't climb as an end in itself. At first, when you're young, you do that, right? When you're starting out, when you're fresh out of college, right? And you decide, okay, I'm going to work at IBM or whatever. You see what I'm saying? You start out and you have no clear purpose. You have no clear idea. You just start out and everybody else is climbing up the pyramid. So you're like, okay, fine, I'll climb it up too. But what you have to be doing early on is finding that which is worthwhile and meaningful in your life. The thing that you are trying to protect and build by way of climbing the pyramid. Because if the pyramid is not an end in itself, if there is nothing at the very top of the pyramid, then you have to be thinking to yourself, why am I climbing this pyramid? What's to be gained? What am I aiming for? And that's why you have to create meaning for yourself. And this is hard. It's hard because you see, the life we're living today, meaning is a do-it-yourself project. It's a DIY life. Meaning is a DIY project, right? No one is giving you meaning. We do not have religion. That was a source of great comfort, by the way. The notion that there is a God and an afterlife, and therefore you should strive to be moral and strive to be good and loving so that you have some reward in the afterlife. That was a powerful incentive, but it's gone. It's been gone since the 19th century, quite frankly. And so now, without any kind of religion to give us direction, with an existence that is hedonistic and narcissistic and just semi-suicidal, well, we have to create meaning for ourselves, and this is an incredibly difficult thing. It's an incredibly difficult thing, and a lot of times what happens is that we find it easier that rather than trying to find meaning in our lives, rather than trying to find that which is truly important, that which we would willingly sacrifice our lives for, not just like in the sense of like putting our chest in front of the bullets, but rather putting in the work day after day after day, week after week, months, years, decades, to sacrifice our life in that sense, right? It's hard. It's hard to find meaning. It's very hard. It's sometimes well nigh impossible. And there are a lot of men, very capable men, in many respects great men, men of energy and industry and intellect, who do not find this, who cannot find anything meaningful in their lives. But it's something that you should. You should strive to find that which is meaningful and find it and build it. Because of course you don't find that which is meaningful, you build it, you create it. You have to find the thing that, it makes you light up, lights you up in the morning, gets you going. It could be that thing that lights you up is the very climb itself, the very job, the career, the business that you're doing. That's the thing that gives you meaning. Yeah? It could be that. In my own case, I can say that is actually true. The things that I do, like these videos, for instance, they give me a great deal of meaning, a great deal of satisfaction. I like doing these videos. I look forward to doing them. And a lot of times when I have to do other things in my life, IRL trivia, right, that steals my time, I'm annoyed. I'm seriously annoyed because I want to get back to making the videos because they're fun. Yeah. They're fun to be talking about. And so this little hobby gives my life a little bit of meaning, right? It gives me something to look forward to. And perhaps, you run some business. You have, I don't know, a flower shop. You have whatever. And your little flower shop gives you that meaning. And you love it. You love the flowers because they're so pretty. And you love the satisfaction of making like the perfect little bouquet, right? And to find meaning in your work, that's a powerful thing. The Catholic denomination, Opus Dei, Latin for work of God, well, their whole ideology, if you will, is based on the notion of finding God through work, through the work, the quotidian, day-to-day work that you do. That labor, howsoever humble it may be, is a way to reach God and reach meaning in your life. Well, that's a powerful thing. Or it could be that you find meaning in the family that you build. It could be that you find satisfaction and motivation, and the drive to continue the climb up the pyramid by way of the children that you have, the woman that you have in your life, the family that you've built together. Yeah, that used to be the case. That used to be the case in starting in the mid-late 19th century, once God was gone, all the way into the late 20th century. But then, unfortunately, we've fallen into this situation where the family has just been destroyed, decimated. People atomized by the social mechanisms that we've created. Families don't exist anymore. They're broken apart by divorce, and then they're broken apart again by the children going off to college and then off to their jobs wheresoever, far away from their parents. The family unit decimated. So now, for young people, for you, perhaps it might be difficult to find meaning in your life by way of your family, because you look around at the wreckage of the family unit of today, of now, and you say, how am I going to find meaning in that? It's just destroyed. It's just broken apart and shattered, right? I guess I'm trying to say is I can't help you to find meaning in your life. I can point in the direction, in the sense of, you can find meaning in different things, and you should. And you should base your life in finding that which is truly important to you, that which you will sacrifice your life for, in the sense I explained before. But I can't tell you what it is. Yeah, a few decades ago, I would have said family. Yeah, but like I said, family's gone. Before that, I would have said God, but God is gone. Sorry. Yeah. Now, what's the next thing? I'll tell you one thing that it's not. It's not the self. I, myself, have lived many years, decades actually, living for myself, hedonistically. Seeking pleasure and living only for myself. And I'll tell you that it was a lonesome and fundamentally empty experience. It was fun for a while. For the first few years. But then just, having money and just spending it on myself. And sometimes buying things just to have that little bit of a thrill of buying something, that little bit of a rush. And that ended quickly when I realized that I was buying stuff exactly the way a heroin addict would, shoot himself with heroin to experience that little bit of a high. It was my own form of heroin. And I experienced that and realized that, and then all of a sudden, the attraction of that was gone. And as you live for yourself, it's just fundamentally stupid and foolish and just not fun. Of course, if you're listening to this and you've never had a great deal of money and have never been able to indulge yourself in all the desires and appetites that you might have had, sexual, material, visceral, what have you, traveling, doing this or that. If you've never had that opportunity, then you're going to say, oh, Coach, you're crazy. It's not possible. It must be wonderful. And I'm here to tell you, yes, it's wonderful at first. And then it's just a weight. It's just a weight because, you cannot really derive meaning just from yourself. In my own case now, the meaning I derive is from my own children. My own children who are small now. And they don't need me very much because they're small. They're going to need me as they age, as they get older. Already I'm starting to see it in both my daughter and my son. My daughter is 6 and my son is 4. And as they grow a little bit older every day, they start needing me more, needing their mother less. Because of course, they can walk around, they can talk, they have their own ideas and their own desires. And as they're growing, I can feel how they need me more. Yeah? And they do too, oddly enough. They start to miss me more. Before they didn't miss me when I'd go away because of a business trip or what have you. Now they do. and that's, I'm not going to lie. It makes me feel wonderful that they miss me. It makes me feel wonderful to think that I'm important to them. And see, and that's where I get meaning. I get that meaning. Yeah. But the pyramid cannot give you that meaning. The pyramid, the climb, it won't give you meaning. It'll give you purpose. It'll give you something to do. Climbing the ladder, going up the corporate ladder, the career ladder, the business ladder, or business pyramid, right? It'll give you something to do, something to get you up in the morning. And it'll appeal to your native sense of competition, of wanting to win, of needing to win, That's a fundamental part of every man. But it cannot give you meaning. If you understand that at the top of the pyramid there is nothing except that which you already value, already carry with you, already love. If you know that and understand that, then you'll recognize what the pyramid really is. It's just the means to safeguard and support and protect that which you already love. So don't worry which pyramid you're climbing. Any pyramid is good as any other. Worry about that which you love, that which gives you meaning to your life, that which fills your heart with love. That's the thing that you have to care for. That's the thing you have to choose very carefully. And that's the thing that will ultimately give you true happiness. I hope this helps.